Hello again, my Massachusetts home buying and selling friends. It's your North Shore real estate enabler, Dan Bernal, here in the heart of the beautiful North Shore here in Salem, Mass. And we are starting off 2012 after one hell of an interesting year last year in real estate. Now, as I've said many times before, and will continue to repeat just so that I hammer it home, real estate is not a market. It is a collection of individual markets, each of which really is self-sustaining and determines its own values, its own trends. And so here in Essex County, the many towns that make up the North Shore and all of Essex County, basically north of Boston heading towards New Hampshire, we saw an actual very strong year in 2011, despite dire economic news and political unrest and everything else that freaked everybody out for most of the year. Strangely enough, real estate sales did quite well. And I've done other reports on that, so I'm not going to focus too much on the data here, because first of all, I don't want to bore you, and second of all, it's a new year. So what's interesting about this January? Well, as many of you may have noticed from talking to me, or just from listening to the news, we had an unusually busy December. December is typically a period of time when realtors may as well just sit on their thumbs. Anything you had going in the fall is going to close maybe in December, but not a lot of new business happens between typically Thanksgiving and Christmas, because people have something else to think about, obviously. Not this year. In fact, the National Association of Realtors recently announced that this December, well, actually it was this November, we saw the largest spike in new home contracts, the purchase and sale contract to buy homes, in 19 months. 2 years, the biggest spike in home sales initiating was in November of this year, when everyone is there. And you know what we saw that may contribute to this? Two things. One, we saw consumer confidence going up. There's a big retail season this year for Christmas presents and things like that. And two, look outside. See any snow? Nice weather equals people going out and looking at houses. So, typically, I'd be on vacation right now because it's January, and January for real estate is investors and vacation. There's just not a lot of people buying homes. However, this year, I think we're looking at something very, very different. So, I was having a great conversation with some people. I was actually advising not to list their property at this point because they're kind of underwater and it's not really the best time for them. But they asked me a great question. They said, but if we did decide to list, wouldn't listing it now put us in the market without the competition we would have if we were to wait and list it in the spring, as is normally a good idea? And I said, yes, in fact it would. All things being equal, it would be a great advantage. However, things are not usually equal this time of year because the weather's terrible, so you have less buyers out and hence less properties listed. However, look at the weather. The weather is clear and beautiful. Interest rates are absurd and below the floor. They are lower than, I can't even, there's not enough I can say about interest rates at this point. It costs you 20 to 25% less to buy a home using a mortgage now than it cost a year ago. It's that simple. It's that simple. Forget price. Prices have been coming down for ages. Interest rates have never been this low. So you combine nice weather, not a lot of other listings out there, and super low interest rates, what do you got? This is actually a strangely good time to list your home. So, if you're thinking about possibly listing, or you're thinking about getting out into the market and seeing who else might be listing, give me a call. You can reach me online, dan.bernal, B-E-R-N-A-L, at virtualhomes.com. You can follow me on Twitter, you can find me on Facebook, and let's go do some business. See you next time.